Hi ladies, welcome back to Fertility Mom. I know it's been a little while, but I'm back now and I'm here and I'm so glad I see so many of you have joined us, so that is awesome. The next two videos are going to be like a two-parter. We're going to talk about recurrent miscarriages, some causes, some treatments, and some testing that you can get done. So, welcome back. Hi ladies, if you want information on increasing your fertility naturally, all the tips, tricks, and secrets to help you get pregnant easier and faster, then subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you know when I give you new stuff every week. Today in part one, we're going to talk a little bit about recurrent miscarriages, some causes, treatments, and testing, and then in part two, we're going to continue the conversation so I don't hit you all at once with a bunch of things. So definitely hit the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Hit me down in the comments with your questions and your experiences so I know what kinds of things you guys want to see coming up. So let's get into it. So first I just want to start by saying if you're coming to this video because you yourself are experiencing recurrent miscarriages or your partner or a friend, it's a really tough situation. My heart goes out to you and I'm so sorry if this is something that you are experiencing. I experienced it myself, so I definitely know how tough this can be for you. But stick with it and keep going because I know that you'll get to the end of it and you will find your rainbow. So during this whole process, you're going to have tons of complicated feelings. It's going to really, really suck. And that's going to be all you can think about. So I definitely hear you. And I know you've been told this, that chromosomal abnormalities are going to be one of your number one causes for having miscarriages. And something like 20 to 30% of pregnancies end in miscarriage. And something around 1 to 2% of the population have recurrent miscarriages, 3 or more. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, traditionally, having a miscarriage, the focus has always been on the woman. What's wrong with her uterus? Is there a hormonal issue? You know, the gamut of things. And it's always been focused on something that's being caused from the woman's body. However, some research has now come to light. This happened last January, so this is dropping in January of 2020. So in January of 2019, we kind of found out a little bit more that we really have kind of been missing the boat on concentrating some of our efforts on the men and their sperm, which is really important. So one study that was done found that men whose partners who have experienced some recurrent miscarriages, what they found was that their sperm was 2 times or more likely to have DNA damage than men whose partners did not experience miscarriages. And this is really important because that shows that there's free radicals, reactive oxygen species that are causing this DNA damage, and that is contributing to the possibility of miscarriage happening in that embryo. So you both have to come to the table on this. You both have to be healthy. You have to take supplements and vitamins and increase your healthy eating and make sure you are controlling inflammation in the body. You both have to do it. This is not all on your shoulders as a woman just because that's just what we've traditionally done is we've concentrated all on the woman. So it's definitely not all on your shoulders. Take this to your partner and say, listen, this is really hard on me. Can we please come together and take these supplements together? Let's do some research on what we can do to increase your health, your diet, whatever it is that you need to do. But don't take all of it on your shoulders and just do it yourself. So in addition to chromosomal abnormalities being a very common cause, something else you're really going to want to look at is, do you have any nutrient deficiencies? Something like a deficient vitamin D level can not only make it hard for you to get pregnant, but can make it harder for you to carry to term and increase your chance of miscarriage. So having all of your nutrient levels, your vitamins, your B vitamins, your vitamin D, and all the other things, having them tested if you're having miscarriages is a good idea. And definitely get copies of your blood work, because I have worked with women that had blood work done like 10 months ago, had 2 miscarriages, and then we look back at the blood work that was done earlier in the year and find that the vitamin D level was super deficient. And then we go to fix that vitamin D and the next pregnancy is the one that sticks. So it's really important not just to trust the office or your doctor to look at the labs, because things get lost in translation, things fall through the cracks all the time. Make sure you always get copies of your own blood work so that you know what's going on. In addition to the nutrient deficiencies of vitamin D or B vitamins or that kind of thing, you're also going to want to look at zinc and iodine, and keep in mind that something that could be going on underlying is celiac disease. Now you could have celiac disease or you could have non-celiac gluten sensitivity, and both of these things are going to contribute to nutrient deficiencies, and they can be very quiet too. You may not know that you have this. Now you can have a blood test and an endoscopy done to test for celiac, and you can, for non-celiac, there's not really a blood test for that. What that is you kind of just do an elimination diet and see how you feel, how your body reacts. So all of these things are good to keep in mind when you're looking at nutrient deficiencies. And another really common thing that you're going to want to look at if you're having miscarriages is hormonal imbalances. Are there any thyroid issues? Do you have low progesterone? Do you have PCOS? Is any of that going on? Because if you went back and looked at my PCOS videos, you'll see that I put in there why PCOS can actually contribute to an increased risk of miscarriage. So definitely check those out if you have PCOS. If you don't have PCOS, but you're having miscarriages, it may be, or if you think that you don't have PCOS and you're having miscarriages, it may be something that you want to look into. Maybe you do have some, markers of PCOS that are not super obvious. Endometriosis that is undetected can also be a thing. But you're really going to want to make sure that your thyroid levels and your progesterone levels are really good, because those are some pretty commonly overlooked, very quiet things that you don't know you have unless you have it tested. Okay, so those are a few things that you're going to want to take a look at if you're having miscarriages or recurrent miscarriages or what have you. Definitely look at all those things, talk about them with your doctor, and figure out where you're going to go from here. There's lots of different testing things that you can get done. There's lots of things that you can get looked at. So start from somewhere. Don't let 2 or 3 miscarriages happening without any forward movement in testing or looking at what's going on. And definitely enroll your partner in having his sperm checked and changing his lifestyle and healthy eating habits and whatever. So definitely enroll him in that. So stay tuned for part 2 coming up in a couple of days. We'll talk a little bit more about some other things that you might want to look at for recurrent miscarriages and some testing that you can get done for that. And definitely like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you again later. Bye, ladies.